Welcome to Drawsh Studio. Today we're going to learn about massing, which is the first step in putting value in our drawings. Let's get started. The human eye is highly tuned to see subtle differences in value. A 10-step value scale helps us put those values in context to each other, but trying to draw all the values exact right away isn't always the best approach. Instead, we use something called massing. Massing is where you take the full value range and split it into two basic groups: light shapes and dark shapes. To help us, we squint at the subject to simplify the values and then mass them together on our paper as these simple groups. We need to make choices as to what we group into the light or shadow mass, and pay attention to the specific shapes of those groups. Let's do an exercise to help us understand massing. We will use a small sheet of paper, pencil, markers, and ink. Do a gesture, and then a quick pass of sighting and construction. Draw on your core and cast shadows, then begin to block them in as solid dark value with markers. All values 5 or darker will mass together as a big specific shape. A value 4 or lighter gets left the white of the paper. If two dark shapes are next to each other, connect them together. This is just an exercise, so don't get worried if you lose your edges in a shadow mass. Use the ink and brush to fill in large areas. The goal of this exercise is to simplify the complexity of value into a series of well-observed light and shadow shapes. However, when we want to build value in our drawings, we shouldn't mass with a 10 value. This will make it impossible to create the subtle variations later. Instead, we will use a middle value to mass our shapes so we can slowly add darks or erase out lights. Let's try this exercise again, but this time mass with a middle value. Use a pencil that has a long drawing point, a stick of compressed graphite, and erasers. Choose a soft pencil. I use the 6B for this drawing. Start again with a gesture and construction. Notice I draw right through my objects to get their placement and structure. Then use the side of the pencil and soft overlapping strokes to create an even middle value. Make sure to squint to help you decide what should be masked as a light shape or masked as a dark shape. The direction of the stroke won't matter if you're using the side of the pencil and don't push too hard. You will struggle if your pencil isn't sharpened with a long drawing point. Use compressed graphite for the larger areas. If it leaves a different texture, go over it lightly with the pencil to even it out. It is important to mask the whole image at once. Always aim for a middle value. Massing too dark makes it harder to get the subtleties of value later, and massing too light means you will have to keep going over it, taking unnecessary time. Try this exercise with charcoal as well. It is a good way to learn how to control different mediums and get consistent tones. All the values that fell into the darker range were massed together as specific shapes. This is the key to massing. It will take practice to get control of the medium to draw specific even values. So if at first you don't succeed, keep practicing till you get it. Once our massing is complete, we begin to carefully build the properties of light and all of our complex value transitions. We will break these steps down in future lessons. But massing is the first step towards more complex value and a beautifully rendered drawing. Despite this, many students avoid the massing step. They feel like it's messy or skipping steps will speed them up, or they want to render as they go, making each area finished before they move on to the next. But none of these are good reasons. You should mass because it helps us see the overall composition of light and shadow, allows us to build values much faster, and helps us create values in context to each other. Massing is one of the most important steps. It will let you see value better, make you draw faster, and make your friends and pets love you more. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to go to drawsh.com for more information on these topics and many more. If you want to see more videos like this, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.